Super Ego Holding.
Super Ego.
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 Super Ego. Super Ego.
Controversial company, Super Ego.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your average mile. We're going to talk about your relationship with your dispatcher, right? You're here at Super Ego, get all excited, you're all pumped. You've been seeing my videos. I've been telling you good things about the company. It's also, you know, certain things that are kind of questionable, but hey, what company don't have that, right? So you come to Super Ego. Now you're sitting here, now you went through all the process, slept in your truck, and now it's time to get your dispatcher, right? Get your dispatcher. You give them that one-on-one that I've been telling you guys to do. Do that one-on-one. Tell them what you need and what are your requirements. What are you looking for? Okay, cool. You do that. Now, you notice on your first check, it's kind of weak. You know, if it's not in the negative, but you blow it over because of the fact that it's your first week. You know what I'm saying? You're expecting to get caught up soon by the next week. And it's the same thing. And now you're in the negative. Now you're trying to figure out what's going on. And you're noticing that your total gross ain't nothing, barely even making $4,000. So what do? Well, you have a before, don't wait 3 to multiple weeks and then quit. Have that one-on-one with your dispatcher. Or if your dispatcher is constantly sending you to loads where he'll get you a load, he'll send you somewhere else, and he says the market's not good, and then he'll send you somewhere else to another market that he goes like, that is not good. You might just have to fire that person. You know, he or she, you might just have to fire them. I'm just going to tell you that now. There should be no reason why there's not a single load that's giving you $2 a mile minimum. You know, there's areas in the Midwest to the East Coast that can get you them type of loads. Now, if that's the case where you're just not making money, you're having that issue, get in contact with their manager, okay? Your dispatcher's manager, and then you get switched out. Make sure you do this in the beginning of the week, not towards the end, because it gets a little bit more hectic during the end. But do it during the beginning, right? If you are not agreeable with your dispatcher, you'll be switched. No problem. Same goes for anybody else that you're assigned to within this company. They can be replaced with somebody else that you prefer. Now, don't do it just because you don't like what they said or, you know, whatever the reason is. Be professional. That's the number one thing that you got to do. You are now a businessman/woman. You need to learn how to be professional and talk to them professionally. Don't be no raising your voice, no going ghetto, no talking back or nothing like that, or, you know, acting like a child, because they're not going to respect you. Because if you was in their shoes and you had somebody talking to you from the side of their neck, you wouldn't be having it. So it's better to basically be the bigger person in all the scenarios when you're working with a company, any company, not just Super Ego, with any company, right? So I just want to go ahead and let it be known. Let me out the light. That ain't gonna do nothing. Let me see. That might be a little bit more better. I'll just keep this one on because the sun is going away on me as I'm trying to make these videos. So hopefully this is enough light for me to be seen. Anyways, so basically you guys just want to make sure that you have the proper etiquette when you're talking to your dispatcher, basically, or anybody else that's assigned to you. You give them respect, they're going to respect you. Now, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that your dispatcher is a professional and he knows what he's doing like Kamikaze did. I didn't really like the fact that he sat there and said that all the dispatchers have years experience. That is not 100% true. And I get tired of drivers putting out misinformation that they don't do research on their own. They just spit it out. Like, why do we do this? Learn your facts first about the company that you're trying to promote before you spit it out. Because if you take my word on something and don't, it's not the way it is, you're going to look at me and be like, I'm a liar, or I just don't know what I'm talking about. So a lot of these dispatchers are going to be new. Some of them are going to be new, right? So you're going to be kind of like their test dummy in a way. It's not fair, but someone has to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And not every single dispatcher that is at Super Ego is bad. There's a lot more that are decent than there are bad. Now, let's not talk about lows. Let's talk about respect when it comes to your dispatcher, right? Let's say you guys have an argument, or you just saying no to the lows because there's better lows, right? So now your dispatcher doesn't answer your phone, doesn't talk, or any of that stuff, right? Okay, what do we do? Are we going to continue to sit there and accept it, or are we just going to find a new dispatcher? We're going to find a new dispatcher. Good. That's it. There should be no reason why nobody is sitting here wanting to be mad at the dispatcher and go off on one. Yes, you're going to be mad and heated in the moment, but it's always better just to switch and forget about it. Because I guarantee you, when you switch your dispatcher, he or she is going to forget about you. And they're just going to get another person and whatnot. So don't be afraid to say no. You don't have to sit there and accept the first load that they offer you, right? Because that load may not be somewhere where you're trying to go, or that might be a bad area. Kamikaze said in one of his videos, and I'll see if I can find it, and I'll reference from what he said, which was the first load they offer you is normally going to be the best load.
When the dispatcher calls you, the first load they call about, pertaining to good dispatchers. The good dispatchers I've had, when they call me, the first load they call about is the best load they have. If you don't accept that one, or something happens, if people underbid you, there's all kinds of stuff that happen, but the first load is usually the best. So, like, I will take the first load my dispatcher calls, no questions asked.
I call bull. That is totally not true. So, a lot of times, these dispatchers that are decent, and this is going to be on the decent level, they'll get you a good load. It's a good paying load, but it's going to a real crappy area, like dead. Like, you're going to have to deadhead far type, right? That's going to be your medium type of level of dispatcher, because they don't look ahead, try to pre-book after they're on top of that before they give you their first offer. Your best dispatcher, what they're going to do is that when they come up and hit you with the offer, they're going to say, here, I got this load going from A to B, right? And they say, once you get done with that, I got this other load that's going from another A to B, and it's paying this much on top of that. So you already have a load on top of a load. A lot of us like to do that, right? So that will be basically your a very good dispatcher at that point. And there's a few that are like that, right? But there's more that's in the intermediate. But they're going to get to their best because they gotta get that groove. Another reason why your dispatcher is probably having issues getting you good loads is because for one, especially when you're brand new, they're trying to learn you, right? They're trying to figure out how you drive, when you like to drive, all this other stuff. They're trying to take it all into account, and like they have like their own little stats in a way. Put it like when you're playing a video game of 2K or whatever, you got your player stats and all this other stuff. Think about it like that for of every driver they have. They have stats on you, how long you typically will drive, what loads you would normally take, when those loads are you're not going to take, right? You got to be clear about that up front too. Tell them, look, if the market is good and stuff like that, I don't want to go below $1.80. You know, if I'm in a crappy area and I'm just trying to get out, I'm not going below $1.50, 60. You know what I'm saying? Set those boundaries and tell them like don't even offer me them loads, because I'm just gonna tell you no. Like, just tell them something like that straight up. Then they'll know there's no point even bugging you about it, so you don't have to get the phone call thinking they got something good to get you rolling, but yeah, it's another bull, and you're gonna be kind of feeling bad just to say no. If you tell them up front, then they shouldn't even bring it up. That's at least how my dispatcher works. You know, he's pretty good. He's on it. He's in between the intermediate and a very good dispatcher. He's like right in between. Like, he's moving to that very good dispatcher, because at most times he does pre-book and he looks for most pre-books, but majority of the time he doesn't kind of look ahead, like, and see, like, after he finds a load, he doesn't look at you know, that if the area that I'm going to is going to be good or easy accessible for me to get out. He doesn't do that all the time. Sometimes he does. And when he does, it's just magnificent. So he's getting there. You know, he's getting there. He's a very good dispatcher. So I do appreciate how he operates and how we work as a team and stuff like that. And our communication is very good. That's another thing. Make sure you communicate with your dispatcher. Another thing is, when you come to Super Ego, they're gonna ask you, do you want your stuff to come in through a text, like your information for, okay, I thought that bug was inside my truck. I just want to flip. Do you want your load information, the dispatcher sheet / Raycon, do you want that to come in a text message or an email? Opt in for the email. It's better way to keep track of every load that you did. Please do email. Don't do text. You can do text, but do email. You know, so you have a little permanent record of your loads. What else can I think about when it comes to your dispatcher? You're the boss, okay? You are the boss. Make sure they know that, but don't be disrespectful about it. You are the boss. You run the truck. They can sit there and offer you 30,000 loads. If you say no to every single last one, there's nothing they can do about it. So you're the boss. They need to be able to understand that and comprehend that what you want and what you say is what's going to go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You know, a lot of these dispatchers, they're going to kind of push you to try to take a load. If you don't want it, don't just tell them, look, I told you I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Why are we arguing about this? I don't want this type of load. I want to go this, or I want this type of weight. I don't want to take this type of weight. You know, be firm, but don't be an asshole. You know, be like, look, this is not what we talked about. This is not what the conversation we had. I am not liking the fact that you're giving me these type of loads when I am literally looking on the load board. I understand that you guys don't use every single broker out here, but the loads are kind of consistent, and this is what I'm being offered. No. And if they can't come back with a better offer after that phone conversation, remove them. Fire them, get a new one that's going to be on your level. That's going to think the way you think, that's going to want to operate that you want to operate. Let it be known, I'm a runner. Let's make some money. You know what I'm saying? You give me good loads, we finna make some bread. Okay? Simple as that. Boom. Now you're making money. And my last week's video was talking about your fuel, right? So now you got your fuel down packed. You got your dispatcher down packed. Cool. That's just part of the game. So just stay tuned for next week's video, right? We're going to get talking about more about you know, getting your business up and running. Okay? So, other than that, this has been your boy, Your Average Mile. Keep your average miles up. I'm out. Peace.